Hi guys, Olive here today to do the Nonfiction November 2017 tag. This tag was created by the lovely Maria over at Read, Create, Repeat Homeschool. Maria is a wonderful booktuber and has been a huge supporter of Nonfiction November over the past couple of years. So when she reached out to me and asked if she could create a tag inspired by Nonfiction November, I couldn't have been more excited. I will link Maria's original tag video down in the description box below so you can give that a watch as well. It has taken me a little while to get around to doing this because I have been so busy reading nonfiction, but I have been super excited to do this tag, so let's hop into the questions. Question number 1 is Nonfiction November is a great time to meet other nonfiction lovers. Give some love to one of your favorite nonfiction booktubers. For me, that would definitely be Natalie from the booktube channel We Need Honey. I have loved her channel for such a long time, and it is an absolute gold mine for nonfiction recommendations. She and I have very similar tastes in nonfiction. So not only do I love the way she talks about the books that she reads, but I know I can always get some really solid recommendations from her channel. So I would say if you like the nonfiction that I read, you definitely need to be subscribed to Natalie. Question number 2, why do you read nonfiction? I am a learning addict. I love learning new things. I love expanding my worldview. I find our world to be a fascinating place, and I am always thrilled to learn more about it. All the rest of the questions in this tag are centered around our 4 different challenges for Nonfiction November this year: home, substance, love, and scholarship. So question number 3 is, where in your home do you read the most? Most of the time I read out on our couch in the living room with our cat, Thea, glued to my lap the entire time. But sometimes if I want some quiet time away from my husband playing his very loud video games, I will come into this room, which is our reading room / guest room. I have a big cozy reading chair in here that I like to use. I will sometimes read in bed, but it's not very frequent because I have a strong tendency to fall asleep. Question number 4, share a nonfiction book that is set in or is about your home country. I'll do one better and not just name one that is set in my home country, but also my home city of Pittsburgh, which is An American Childhood by Annie Dillard. This is the writer Annie Dillard's memoir about growing up in the Burgh in the 1950s. Pittsburgh was obviously a much different place 60 years ago, so I'm very excited to read all about it, hopefully here soon. Question number 5 is, what book on your Nonfiction November 2017 TBR related to the word home are you the most excited about? I've actually already finished both books on my TBR for the word home. They were both 5-star reads, which is very surprising. I did a dual book review for both of the books that I read for the home challenge. I will link that down below if you would like to watch it. Question number 6, what books do you love to read the most within nonfiction? Lately, I seem to be obsessed with books that deal with the natural world, preferably ones that are written with a literary flair. Question number 7, give a nonfiction recommendation related to the challenge word love. This is going to be a little bit challenging for me since I did give recommendations for each of our challenges in my TBR video, which I will link down below if you missed it, but I will give it a try. Another book that I would recommend for the challenge love is Buffering by Hannah Hart. This is YouTube star Hannah Hart's memoir about her experiences growing up and the way she went about learning to love herself after going through a very tumultuous childhood. Question number 8, which love-related nonfiction book on your TBR are you the most excited to read? Again, since we're approaching the end of the month, I've actually read a good number of the books on my Nonfiction November TBR, so I'm going to go to my larger TBR and pick a book from there. So for this one, I will answer Can't Buy My Love: How Advertising Changes How We Think and Feel by Jean Kilbourne. I selected this one because it has love in the title, but this has been one that I've been wanting to get to for a really long time, and of course talks about the ways in which advertising uses psychology to manipulate us. Question number 9, nonfiction is a great way to introduce us to people who inspire us to be better. Name a person of substance who you have enjoyed reading about. For this one, I obviously choose Catherine the Great, because she was one badass lady. Question number 10, what nonfiction book would you recommend that has a lot of substance to it? For this one, I will choose one that I read earlier this year, which is called Travel as a Political Act by Rick Steves. In this book, he discusses just how important travel is for expanding one's mind. He talks about how each of us takes our worldview and our cultural framework with us when we travel, preferably internationally. We have our ideas confronted by having them compared against things that might contradict them. By having something to compare our ideas against, we're able to question the validity of them. Are we really doing what is right? And then when we come back home, we bring our new mindset with us, and we use that to be more informed citizens. It was definitely a substantive read talking about how travel abroad can make us better citizens at home. Question number 11. What book related to the word substance are you most excited for on your nonfiction TBR? Again, I am turning to my larger TBR to answer this question, and for this I am choosing a new acquisition that I have not even hauled yet. That is Cocaine, an unauthorized biography by Dominic Straightfield. Throughout the entirety of Nonfiction November, I took the substance challenge very literally and talked about specific substances. And I know it's probably really shifty looking that I keep wanting to read books on drugs, but I do think it is really important to be educated on drugs. I feel like we don't talk about them a lot in polite society because they're illegal and associated with the black market and crime. But I truly believe the more we openly talk about drugs with each other, with our kids, the less likely it is that people are going to do them if they know all the things that they eventually lead to. So I am very interested to pick this up. Question number 12. Nonfiction can teach us a lot. What subject or topic have you learned a lot of because of your reading? Recently, birds, and more birds, and keep them coming. Question number 13. What nonfiction book would you recommend that teaches something well? I would definitely have to say one of the books that I read for the home challenge that I did a review on, which is I Contain Multitudes, The Microbes Within Us and a Grander View of Life by Ed Yong. This book will teach you everything you didn't know you needed to know about microbes in an engaging, exciting way. And the last question, question number 14, is what book related to the word scholarship are you most excited about reading this Nonfiction November? Scholarship is pretty much the last challenge that I am tackling for this year's Nonfiction November. I'm not sure if I will get to this next one, but I will attempt to, and that is Gutenberg, How One Man Remade the World with Words by John Mann. As a lover of the printed word, how could I not be excited about this? When it comes to tagging people, I would like to tag anyone and everyone who was participating in Nonfiction November this year who has not yet done this tag. I know we are swiftly approaching the end of the month, but there is still a lot of time left to be able to talk about some great nonfiction. I would like to give a big thank you to Maria for creating this wonderful tag. If you would like to chat with me about any of the topics or books that I discussed in this video, you can feel free to put that in the comment section below, or you can find me on a variety of different places on social media, and the links to all of my profiles are linked in the description box below. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.